Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unsportsmanlike Commentary Podcast, the podcast where you get real, unedited, and unfiltered football takes.
Got the NFL draft right around the corner. We're actually going to be live streaming it during the NFL draft, so please come and join us, watch the draft with us, and hear our commentary on every pick that happens during the first round. Now, earlier in the week, we actually made a mock draft. We went over everything. And Tyler, how's our mock draft looking right now?
Well, 2 days after our mock draft, the Aaron Rodgers trade went through. So the first round, I think, got shuffled a bit, but I think just the names get flipped. I don't think the positions get flipped for me. That's just, I think both teams eventually, they still end up taking offensive tackles.
You also have, on the other side, you have some other news, which is Will Levis is going to be most likely going number one, or at least he has become the odds-on favorite to be number one. Whether or not he actually will is to be determined, but there are a lot of people saying he is, and Vegas has actually had to shut down betting for a while because of all the movement that happened when it was leaked that he might go number one. We actually made a short about that, which you can check out in our video collection. With that change, and now potentially the top two picks being back-to-back quarterbacks, that means that there has been a cascading effect and other teams are now scrambling. So we're going to look today at the NFL draft, and we're going to make one bold prediction, each of us, of something unpredictable that will happen during the NFL draft. Tyler, would you like to go first?
Yes, I will absolutely start. Take it back to last year during the first round of the draft. We had a bunch of flip picks. We had a couple players get traded in the first round last year as well. One who's he was a bona fide superstar before, and he only became more of one since getting traded to his new team in A.J. Brown. And then you had another guy get flipped in the first round for a first round pick, surprising to a lot of people, who his zip code, it lies within Drop City, and that would be Hollywood Brown. My prediction for the first round of this year's draft, I'm predicting that there's two star players, bona fide star players already in the NFL, get traded within the first round. We've already got names on the chopping block: DeAndre Hopkins, Austin Eckler, Budda Baker, Lamar Jackson's another one. Well, it got put on the block when they put the non-exclusive tag on him that allowed him to start talking to other teams. It's just no teams have really called him or contacted his agent trying to figure out if a trade can happen. But regardless, whatever he gets offered, the Ravens can match or just accept 2 first-round picks. Another guy that's being popped up onto the trade block is Trey Lance, which is a move I certainly hope they do not make, because they won't get the draft. They won't get any type of compensation worth what they gave up to go get him.
You know that any conversation about Trey Lance is going to be edited out, right?
And why would you even entertain it in the first place? You fucking... Another name that I left out that I was reaching for was Derrick Henry. You got the Titans in a complete fire sale right now. He's really the only guy left on their team. I mean, Derrick Henry could easily get moved. I think the one team that could make the play for him, if they can't work out a trade to hop up and potentially go get Bijan, would be the Eagles. Because the Eagles got 2 first-rounders. They could easily part with one of them, give a couple more additional fucking draft picks later on, either this year or maybe next year, and go get Derrick Henry, because I absolutely believe he will get moved as well.
The Eagles definitely been busy with the trade rumors going into the draft. They're definitely talking about wanting a running back. They also have been talking about wanting Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. They don't believe they can get him at 10, so they have been talking about moving up into the 6 through 8 range. Tyler believes he's going 5.
He's going 5 to Seattle.
You can find out why Tyler's wrong in our video in the playlist section. But
boy, you better hope tomorrow he doesn't go 5 on our live, bro.
The prediction that I want to go with does actually involve a player that the Eagles might be pursuing, which is Bijan Robinson. I had him on my mock draft, originally falling in the later part of the first round. And, a few days ago, that was looking like a realistic possibility if you looked at a lot of the mock drafts.
Going to who?
I mean, to a team in the northeastern part of the country.
Not anything to do with what you're currently wearing or anything like that?
I mean, anything like that would be purely coincidental. But I did have Bijan Robinson falling later in the draft, and it does not look like that's going to happen. It seems like there's a lot of teams who have really been impressed with him. His scouting reports continue to glow. It's not just that he has all those football metrics. He seems to just honestly be wowing people that he meets. I do believe that Bijan Robinson is going to go as a top 10 pick in this year's draft. It could be the Eagles. It could be the Eagles. If they can't get Jalen Carter, that could be the next guy they target. It could be the Falcons at 8. They are looking for a running back. A lot of those teams in that range. There's a lot of them that could help. That could, even though they have needs in other places, there's a lot of them that could really benefit from a dominant running back. And it does seem like the consensus is that there is one dominant running back in this draft, and his name is Bijan Robinson.
I mean, Atlanta over the last 48 hours has been heavily rumored as a favorite to take him at 8. The Eagles, obviously, I think you're right. I think if Jalen Carter's not there at 10, but Bijan is, I think Bijan is the pick to the Eagles. I had Bijan going 16 to the Lions as the best player available. You could also maybe see a scenario where a team tries to hop up in front of a couple teams, or like someone. Bijan is falling. It does look like Bijan's falling to 10 to the Eagles. Maybe someone hops up at 9 to try and go get him. That's not traditionally.
You know who might need a running back because they have the assets to acquire a high pick, and that asset would be a running back. Would be the Tennessee Titans. Do you see the Titans moving Henry to get into the top 10? They do have the number 11. A combination of Henry and number 11 should get that done. If they really want Bijan Robinson, the Titans know they enjoy running a system that is ground heavy.
The Titans absolutely could move up, but the Titans, I don't think the Titans necessarily are going to make a move to go get a running back. If they're going to trade Derrick Henry, they've got so many other holes you have to fill. I understand the appeal, but if you're talking about taking what people are saying is a generational talent at the running back position, put him behind a bad O-line with no quarterback, no receiving help, you're going to fuck around and end that dude's career in about 3 years.
Got to also look at we don't know what a haul you would get back from a Derrick Henry trade, and depending on what assets you can get back, you might still get enough premium to get an extra tackle, to get an extra quality receiver in the first or second round of this draft, or even a future assets moving forward, so you can build around that running back without too much delay into the future.
Look, Derrick Henry is one of the highest paid running backs in the game, so any trade involved with Tennessee is going to involve them eating a chunk of that contract. It's all about what teams are going to be willing to give up for him. Now, I think a team like the Eagles would pay, the sun and the goddamn moon for a Derrick Henry. But if you're talking about any team in that 15-20 range, maybe the Titans stick where they're at, because the Titans are at 11 currently. They stick where they're at. They draft that offensive line help, trade back later, maybe get a late first round pick out of it and go get a Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes, Bijan is the clear cut 1 out of 1 in this draft as far as running back goes, but the separation between him and Jahmyr Gibbs isn't astronomical. Like Jahmyr Gibbs still has the potential to be a fantastic running back in the NFL.
We know that this draft, one thing that is unique is that it really does seem like it's anyone's guess as to where the players are falling. I don't think I've seen this much diversity and disparity among mock drafts that I've been reading as I have this year. I mean,
yeah.
We don't even really know who's going number 1. Usually we have at least some idea of who the number 1 guy is. You're rolling your eyes like you think for sure it's Bryce Young, but I think Will Levis could absolutely be the pick there, and it would not surprise me.
I'm not going to say I won't be surprised by it either. But for a team that has traded all that, if you traded all that capital and a star wide receiver, you're going to take – you've got a quarterback ready. Like this is the dude. This is the clear quarterback 1 out of this fucking draft. You're going to trade all that away to go get Will Levis? You could have made a move into the top 5 and not given up DJ Moore. Like if Will was really the guy they were going after, I don't think they would have gone all the way to 1. That's just me.
It is crazy when you consider the haul that they traded to get
Yeah.
the number 1 pick. And we talked about this in the last podcast when I was saying I believe that there are 3 franchise quarterbacks in this draft. My position still is that there are 3 franchise quarterbacks in this draft. And I believe they could have traded for the 2nd or 3rd seed, probably not giving up as much of a haul. I agree. I think that the Panthers definitely, it's head scratching that they would take Will Levis given what they traded. And given that the consensus was that Bryce Young was the guy. That being said, I think that Will Levis could very well be the best quarterback out of this draft. If you've done all your evaluations and you feel at the end of the day, as an organization, Will Levis is going to be the better player, doesn't matter what you gave up, doesn't matter, what the logic is or anything, you swallow your pride and you take the best guy you think is there. And if Will Levis goes number 1 tomorrow, it's because we know that Carolina views him as the best prospect.
I get it. But just a couple of weeks ago, people were having serious arguments about whether Will Levis or Anthony Richardson should be the 3rd quarterback off the board. Now, astronomically, he's at 1. I'm not saying he can't. I'm also saying that nobody was thinking this but a mere 2 days ago. If you're the Panthers and you're trading, it's not just the Panthers, it's any team that trades up in any draft knowing that they're going to go after a quarterback. You have to have your research done before you even make the offer. I don't believe the smoke show that's coming. Bryce is going 1, and at very most, will go 2. We'll get all our answers tomorrow. Please join us for our live stream here on YouTube tomorrow for the first round of the NFL draft. We hope that you all join us there. Give us your predictions. Comment who you think's going number 1.
Help us grow this channel, and please like and subscribe.
Fantastic. That was it. Ta-da!